Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Bakar Kadash, in the Heavenly Father. True name is Yahweh, and His unbegotten Son Ba'Shem, in the name of Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Those are their true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Lashwan Kadash tongue. And I say Barak Thumb to the elders, Wa Akima Akwaf, and I say Shalom. And this is a sit-down lesson of prophecy updates as of September the 28th, 2024 on Saturday. And this is a news article from the MiamiHerald.com. And this was published on September the 27th, 2024 at 10:56 a.m. Published by Ali Shobab from the Newsweek World, and it reads, Putin ally issues nuclear warning to NATO. It says Belarus Alexander Helenskio warned that NATO weapons will be a use against NATO if it attacks either nation of Russia. Belarus does not have nuclear weapons of its own, but it has been hosting Russian tactical warheads of its territory since last year, abandoning the Moscow ongoing war in Ukraine. Leleskinio, a staunch of the ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin, made the warning while speaking at an event with the students in Minsk, the Belarusian capital, on Friday. He warned that attack on Belarus will be World War III, and that NATO troops crossing its borders will be a red line, according to the country's national agencies of Belta. This is the book of Matthew 24, verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right, so that's a sign of wars and rumors of wars. The president of Belarus sent that nuclear warning to NATO, which he previously did before. And this was once again the latest of a nuclear warning that Belarus sending to NATO if Belarusians Russian army comes under any attack. So the Belarusian president sent that nuclear warning towards NATO. That's a sign of wars and rumors of wars. Matthew 24, verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence, earthquakes in diverse places. Right, so nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, increasing famines, increasing pestilence, and increasing earthquakes in diverse places, which we're seeing in our world today, and it's only going to continue to increase.
No, Marty, what's the craziest interaction you've ever had with a mascot? Because that right there, that was, you gotta keep your distance. So this is amazing. And this is truly majestic. Right on the 7 feet wingspan. Is that right?
And this was a recent news article, because I believe you had one of the top leaders of Hezbollah, and and this the same leader that been issuing out heavy warnings to the IDF in solidarity with the Palestinians and pro-Iranian groups. And this is a news article. I believe it was a news article that came out saying he was still alive, And this is the top Hezbollah leader. His headquarters in Beirut. This came under the IDF attack. I would say a couple of hours ago, because the time zones are kind of different from the United States in comparisons to over there in the Middle East. And this is a news article from time.com, and it reads, Israel says it struck Hezbollah headquarters in Beirut. The Israeli military said Friday They struck the central headquarters of Hezbollah in Beirut, where a series of massive explosions leveled multiple buildings. It says sending clouds of orange and black smoke bellowing in the skies. The strike in the suburbs of South Lebanon capital came shortly after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed the UN, vowing that Israel's campaign against Hezbollah will continue. His comments further diminish hopes for an international-backed ceasefire aimed at preventing a spiral in an all-out war. And it says three major Israeli TV channels said Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah, oh, that's his name, Hassan Nasrallah was the target of these strikes, but the unsourced report could not immediately be confirmed by the Associated Press at the Army's decline comment, but given the size and timing of the blast, there was a strong indication that a high-level target may have been inside the building struck. To the degree unseen past conflicts, Israel this past week has aimed to eliminate Hezbollah's senior leadership in another sign of striking importance. Defense Minister Yoav Galant's officials said it was huddled with the head of Israel Air Force and other top commanders at the military headquarters following updates. If I can exit that out. Yep, Matthew 24 verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, right? Hezbollah versus the IDF. Especially the borders of Lebanon and Israel have been heating up on both sides, from the sides of the IDF versus the Hezbollah. This is Matthew 24 verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. This is the prophet Joel, chapter 3 verse 9. Proclaim ye this amongst the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Joel 3 verse 10. Beat your plowshares and the swords and plenty hoods into spears, and let the weak say I'm strong. So the Heavenly Father's putting that warlike mindset of these armies of nations. He's waking up the mighty men of the armies of nations, especially over there in the Battle Jehoshaphat of Western Asia. That's why we're seeing the nuclear escalations are heating up between the armies of nations. And most of the primary one right now, the Israel Defense Force versus Hezbollah, Iran versus the IDF, the pro-Iranian groups versus Israel Defense Force. And especially the main focus one right now, Hezbollah versus the IDF. So that's only going to intensify. The prophet Joel 3 verse 10, beat your plowshares and swords and plenty hooks into spears, and let the weak say I'm strong. Right, let the weak say I'm strong. Of these proxy groups of pro-Iranian rising up against the IDF, despite the heavy airstrikes and heavy campaign strikes that the Israel Defense Force doing in southern Lebanon, throughout the borders of Lebanon, against the pro-Iranian groups, against Hezbollah as well too. Despite the fact that they're using heavy campaign blows, heavy airstrike campaigns against the pro-Iranian groups in Hezbollah, but we starting to see they rising up against the IDF and their allies as well too, backed by them. As we see in the Israel Hezbollah war is intensifying, but we definitely starting to see let the weak say I'm strong, and that's what we're seeing. Let's go to RT.com. It says more Ukrainian armor destroyed in Kursk region. It says the Ukraine conflict will end in Korean scenario. Syrian leader reports. U.S. still consider allowing long-range strikes on Russia. Political. It says this is a news article from September 27, 2024, and it reads from RT.com. And this is another sign of wars and rumors of wars. And keep this in mind, I would say like a couple of days ago, Wednesday, because today, Saturday, and you had Vladimir Putin had a meeting about the nuclear doctrine to building up his nuclear capability. He sent that nuclear warning if Moscow, of Russia, and of Russian Federation, if they come under enemy threat or under attack, Russia has a right to respond. So that's why he sent that nuclear warning to the Western countries, to NATO, to the United States. And this is a news article, and it reads: U.S. still considering allowing long-range strikes on Russia. And then there was a news article that came out like 2 days ago about the new $8 billion military aid assistance was granted for, and it was approved for Ukraine of $8 billion of military aid assistance. The White House still considering giving Kiev the green light despite skepticism in the Pentagon. The news outlet has reported the administration of the United States President Joe Biden is still discussing allowing Ukraine to use a Western supply weapons of long-range attacks in Russia. Politico has reported. Permissions to strike deep in Russia is reportedly one of the points of Ukraine's leader Vladimir Zelensky's so-called victory plan, which is currently promoted in the U.S. However, Biden says nothing about long-range attacks after this meeting with Zelensky at the White House on Thursday. In his article on Friday, the outlet claimed that two forms of source told that the idea of allowing such strikes remains under consideration in the White House. The Biden administration has not completely rejected, even despite the Pentagon's beliefs that the such strikes will be unlikely to have any serious strategic impacts, political strategy.
Number seven, Miami hosting Virginia Tech. Coverage kicks off at 7 with college football countdown and tomorrow. Number two, and fourth ranked Alabama in Tuscaloosa. That's Georgia, Bama. Coverage beginning at 7:30 Eastern on ABC. All right, quickly, look at your top plays in college football. Let's do it. For Arkansas's Taylor Green, rolling out of the pocket, he launches this deep ball, and Isaiah Sategna is going to make a contested catch for the touchdown.
It says a new NATO member to place commander center near Russian border. It says Finland will host the bloc headquarters for Northern Europe, Mykolaiv, less than 200 kilometers from the frontier. Finland will host a new NATO command base responsible for operations in Northern Europe in the city of Mykolaiv, less than 200 kilometers from the Russian border. The Helsinki announced on Friday. Finland formally joined the U.S.-led bloc along with Sweden following the escalations of the Ukraine conflict in 2022. Moscow has argued that the two nations compromise their own security by becoming part of what is perceived as a hostile organization that serves U.S. geopolitical interests, while sacrificing their credibility as a public neutral mediators. It says this is a news article. This goes into that second Edge of 15th chapter, seditions among men invading one another. They should not regard their kings or their princes the course of their action. In Luke 21, verse 25, the disgrace of nations were perplexing and seas raging war. And this is September 27, 2024. This news article from RT.com, and it reads: Sudanese army launched major offense. The governor has reportedly conducted airstrikes in a war-torn country capital and nearby areas to retake them from the paramilitary forces.
attention to conversations around racism and online hate that the players have been subjected to. The Sun's Alyssa Thomas spoke earlier about this week and with specific attention
Let's
here
go to Arab News.
fans. Indiana held their end of season exit interviews this morning, and Caitlin Clark and Emily of Boston, they were asked about the issue.
It says Israel hits Beirut suburbs with heavy airstrikes. It says 2 dead, 76 wounded, and initially total reported by the Lebanese Health Ministry. Israeli military spokesperson said Central Command Central center target was enabled by deep with civilian areas.
But I mean, just overall on social media, I mean, there has been so much hate spread, and even being on this team, like to start the season, I was at the other end of those hate comments. I was at the other end of every single thing that's to come. They say they support the fever and everything like that, but I mean, they just said everything under the earth.
I will play the video sound, but hopefully, because last time I did this, I had got a copyright, so I can't, play the sound. So that was a video clip right there of that airstrike took place over there in Beirut, one of the top headquarters from Hezbollah.
So yeah, that was Caitlin Boston this morning. And what's your reaction to what we just heard? Well, there are two unequivocal truths that I know about the WNBA.
So that was a 38-second clip right there, as it says again. Israel hits Beirut suburbs with heavy airstrikes. The Israeli spokesperson said the Central Command Center target was enabled deep with civilian areas. The Israeli military said Friday it had struck the central headquarters of Hezbollah in Beirut, where a series of mass explosions leveled multiple buildings, sending clouds of orange and black smoke billowing into skies. The strikes in the suburbs of South Lebanon's capital came shortly just after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed the UN, vowing that Israel's campaign against Hezbollah will continue. So, go to the Middle East.
No, with you 1,000%, Shanae. You know the beautiful part about it is, right, we're watching two young WNBA All-Stars that got a superstar still to speak out on their platform.
And this is what you call it, uproar, some people in the world. That goes into that second Ezra 15 chapter. And it says Iranians burn Israeli and U.S. flags during an anti-Israel protest in Tehran as of September the 24th, September 27, 2024, I meant to say, in Tehran after Friday's prayers. A protest took place around Inqilab Square in the city's central. Demonstrators carried out portraits of Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah, as well as the Palestinian Hezbollah flags. It says thousands of Iranians protest on Friday in the capital Tehran and other cities to condemn the Israeli attacks on Lebanon and Gaza, the AFP journalist state media reported. Officials on Wednesday called on the nation to demonstrate to support of the Iranian-backed Hezbollah movement in Lebanon and to condemn the barbaric crimes of the Zionist regime in Palestine. The officials, the IRN News says, Hezbollah is part of the axis of resistance, the Iran-aligned group across the Middle East, which have targeted Israel and also forces in the support of Palestinian militants.
The one that trusted me, and you don't even know what it's like to be a black woman in sports where nobody believes in you.
It says 18 dead in Sudan's El Fasher at the preliminary attack on market, medics report. It says Lebanon is facing the deadliest period in a generation, the UN reports. Hezbollah said they And this is a news article, uh, especially what we've been seeing taking place over there in the Red Sea, because you've been having the coalition forces of the United States and Great Britain and the IDF versus the Houthi rebels, which is a Iranian-backed group over there in Yemen. And it says Yemen's Houthis said they attacked the Israel's Tel Aviv and Ascalon. The Israeli army said it had intercepted a missile that was fired from from Yemen, after a siren and explosions were heard earlier in the day. It says Yemen's Iranian-aligned Houthis on Friday they had target as Israel's cities Tel Aviv and Ascalon with a ballistic missiles and a drone in a support of Gaza. In Lebanon, the Israeli army said it has intercepted missiles that was fired from Lebanon after sirens explosions were heard earlier in the day. The Houthis military spokesperson said that operations won't halt until the coming days until Israeli offense in Gaza and Lebanon stop. We will carry out more military operations and against the Israeli enemy in the victory for the blood of our brothers in Palestine and Lebanon. Shari said in a televised speech. It says Israel strikes has killed more than 600 people in Lebanon since Monday, with the conflict between Israel and the Iranian-backed Hezbollah as its most intense more than 18 years. Hezbollah has been firing rockets into Israel for almost a year in support of its allies, Hamas, which is fighting Israel in Gaza. So with that, hopefully this sit-down lesson was edifying of Saturday, September the 28th, 2024. And this was a prophecy update as of September the 28th, 2024 on Saturday. So with that, I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem HaKakadash, and the Heavenly Father. True name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Ba'Shem, and the name of Mashiach Kabashai. Those are their true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Lashwan Kadash Little Tongue. And I say Barakathum to the elders, Barakim Akwaf. Until next time, I would say Shalom.